Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The Quran, the revelation of God's words that came spoken to Prophet Muhammad's ears through Angel Jibreel. The words of God subhanahu wa ta'ala ushered a new dawn of equality, freedom of worship, and easement of many of the rules that was at the time of Moses. And following with Jesus, for examples, abolishment of stoning. The main message from Noah to Muhammad alayhim salam did not change, believing in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and believing in the judgment day. But there were changes and developments amongst the people because the people did not remain the same from the time of Noah. And the Quran recognizes in these words these changes and encourages many of these changes. One of the examples, there is a verse that I want to share with you in Surah Al-Ahzab, ayah number 35. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks to men and women, and in the Arabic language, they are different. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts with Inna al-Muslimina wal-Muslimat, the Muslim men and Muslim women, wal-Mu'minina wal-Mu'minat, believing men and believing women, and then continues on, obedient men and obedient women, truthful men and truthful women, patient men and patient women, humble men and humble women, charitable men and charitable women, fasting men and fasting women, men who guard their chastity and women who guard, men who remember God frequently and women who remember. God has prepared for them a pardon and an immense reward. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse is equating between the male and the female in the belief system and in the deeds. By the way, the fasting here is not fasting just from food and from the worship of fasting in Ramadan. This is fasting, men and women fasting from speaking, just like he told Mary about fasting, fasting from speaking about others or speaking of ill. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in showing this equation in this long verse about male and female and distinctly mentioning these things, shows us how the Quran looks at men and women differently than the time of Noah. And this is something that many Muslims overlook today. One of the biggest problems Muslims face today is the Quran is in Arabic and less than 10% of Muslims speak Arabic or are Arabs. The majority do not speak the Arabic language, and the Quran is sitting on shelves while many of them study all other books, which is very, very unfortunate. They always seem to want to go backwards to the 7th century, to the time of great people, and they don't realize that the time of great people could be now, and the best people could be living now. So this is where some of the confusion happens with a lot of them, and that's where when you hear about some people wondering, should girls go to school or shouldn't they go to school? I have no idea where they come up with this. No idea.